The recording. So really welcome. Thanks, Camilla, for the introductions and the house rules. I've got a very short presentation today, and it's about the robotics software and the opportunities that there are. And so we're going to review it and kind of keep in the back of your mind, there isn't enough time kind of here and online in the session to have a tutorial. But maybe we do need to start I don't know, little working groups or little groups that can explore, and little brag groups, maybe as a support group for those educators or those facilitators that want to start using these packages. We have up until now kind of shown you a lot of opportunities within the robotics and coding space of software that is available, and of course most of it is free. And in that, there's also a lot of tutorials available. And I just think it's time that we start making our own tutorials. So maybe we start developing our own tutorials. We kind of put it into context. And then for that, we're looking to you, the online community, to help us with that. Okay. So the point of today is then to expose you or create an awareness of two really amazing packages that are available. All right, let me quickly share my screen, and then we can kind of talk it through. And it'll be really good to hear if anybody has any experience of these packages. And I'm just going to ask Cabello, okay, is my screen visible? Anybody confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you, Nadine.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Good to have you with us. All right. So this is really a discussion, and we'd love to have a discussion about the use of robotics software. Okay. So we started on Monday with Lego Digital Designer and Studio, and that is really for designing. And the vision is then to have our learners being able to really migrate into any CAD software. SolidWorks is what they use at universities for engineering. So we've got to start somewhere. So maybe Studio or Lego Digital Design is kind of a start where we're going to go. And then on Tuesday, we looked at the Robotics Toolkits and specifically Gearsbot, where you have a robot and you kind of learn to program the robot. Okay, and then yesterday we did mostly the programming from the grade 3, where we do Redo and Scratch, all the way up to the EV3s, the Spike Primes, the Scratch Spike Prime, and then Python. And so I'd like to just quickly put an ad out. So in 2 weeks' time, so not next week, but the week after that, we're going to do an introduction to Python. So if you feel up to it, you are most welcome to join us then. So today we're going to look at software that we can use both for 3D printing and circuits. The two packages I've got here are Tinkercad and FET. What we want to take our learners to is to take them to another level of designing items in 3 dimensions, but then also maybe to print in 3 dimensions. So 3D printing, and maybe extending that to laser cutting, and so then actually building our own robots from the design phase to the building phase. All right. So I'm Patricia Goos. Cabello has done the introduction. And the team, Nadine, Anzani, Tumelo, and Casper, they are here. And Anzani will explain more about her rich analytics that she's pursuing at the end of the session. Okay, so yeah, we're in session number 4. So well done. You're all survivors. And we really thank you for joining us. One day we'll go back to real, and we'll go back to this, whatever it was. Yeah. And really, what we would love to do is to equip the robotics coaches, and in these sessions, just to equip you with an awareness of what is available. And we'd love to hear your questions. And yes, there are recordings, so you're welcome to share these recordings. Okay. So with any robotics, there's always the actual building the robot and the designing the robot. And then on the other hand is the programming, so that is making the robot function. And in between are these skills that we're going to develop for our learners, so 21st century skills. But it kind of all fits together. And what we are exploring in these 4 sessions is alternative paths into robotics. All right. So the first package that I'm going to introduce you to is called Tinkercad. Tinkercad you can go download, and Tinkercad's got, as you can see, if you just Google for images, it has got a wide collection of different pictures that it can do and what you can do with it. It's there, it exists. Okay, and there's even a how to Tinkercad 101. So I'm thinking we'll all need to challenge each other, and we'll all do Tinkercad 101, and then we will see what we all come up with. Kind of have an online class. Everybody has their own version of Tinkercad. I think that could work. All right, really straightforward, and I like it from the mind to design, and it says in minutes. Okay, and just if you think nobody's using it, well, there's 35 million people that are using it. They say it's to learn, it's free, it's fast, and it's easy, and it's great to teach. Okay, so if you are an educator, I think you're in good company. You want experience, you want people to help you with designs. I think it's all shared there. I'm just making sure, is somebody admitting the members coming into the lobby?
Yes, Dr. House, I'm back.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, good to hear. All right, so Tinkercad is really, it says start tinkering, you know. It is available and it is there for the enhancement and of learners. All right, so there are basic skills, basic design skills, and they show you all these beautiful pictures, and then you can design it. I just think it would be just so cool if every learner can then at least design something of their own. But yes, you've got to start somewhere. Like with everything, you've got to start somewhere. So they've got a whole lot of projects here that you can then design, and then you learn as you go along. All right. So this is the kind of the where it's going, and you can see everything is 3D. You can see the shadow. So the idea would be to design it, and then you can visualize it, you know, up, down, left, right, from the top, from the bottom, and then when you've designed it, maybe to organize a 3D printer for your class. Yeah, even if you have the local IT company just coming to come and demonstrate how the 3D printer works. Well, you know, that's about collaboration, and where industry gets involved in education, that is really an option. Okay, so the cool thing is it says you can see all the lessons. So it's got I didn't scroll down here, but you can scroll all the way down, and you can go and see what is available, you know, from the Minecraft party glasses, to a ruler, and you can, and then buttons, basic buttons. I kind of like the earrings. I think I need to print myself some earrings. All right. So really for the 3D printing, you can 3D, it says you can 3D print your designs, which I think in and of itself is great, and you can laser cut things as well. But I do think you need, there's the see all lessons. I do think working through each of the lessons is an option. I don't know whether you have maybe a Tinker club at school, and so you work your way maybe after school. I am sure there are those inspired learners that would willingly explore this package with you. Remember, as a coach, you do not need all the answers. All right, ask whether there are any students who are willing to step out of their comfort zone and to investigate and see what lessons, come and brag to us and see what lessons you can, well, not even master, just accomplish will be, you know, even that is great. All right, so these are the 3D printing stuff, and teaching learners to think in 3D is one of those problems that we have discovered early on in robotics, where that's why we've kind of I prefer to use Lego Digital Designer designs. You can kind of lift the design and turn it upside down, whereas if you print it on paper, it's kind of two-dimensional. Yeah. All right, so that's your design. Okay, so if you look over here, there's the design tab, but next to the design are circuits, and I think our learners are over this boring circuits in their textbook. We're into making exciting stuff, and of course this community is really keen to share their knowledge. All right, so here are some really cool things to do, even if you modify it and you use it as a science project. I think that's commendable. Let's see what they can do with it. All right. All right. So now we're going to go into circuits. So if you click on circuits there, you kind of come to this, learn how to tinker. It sounds very weird. I would say tinkering is a weird thing, but anyway, okay. So we're going to tinker, and we're going to click on the circuits there, and then we get starters, we get lessons, and we get projects. Okay, so we're going to go out of 3D, and here's the great thing: there are all these projects, and some of them are familiar; they're in the textbooks. But the other one is some of them are not in the textbook, and a really cool one is this introducing the breadboard. Maybe you don't have the funds at your school to buy every learner a breadboard, and to put all the wiring in it, and maybe this is the way that everybody can get them involved. I would also say, don't let learners do this one-on-one. I think let them do it together, like in teams. All right. Somebody's microphone is just not muted. There we go. All right. So now you don't know what lesson it is. Well, here it is. In 6 easy steps, we're introducing the breadboard. There's your lesson. You can say next. This comes onto your screen. All right. There you go. All right. And there you've got orientation, so you can turn it upside down and left and right, and they will explain everything they've got there. And there are all your components. It's like, okay, so here we go. And so I really encourage you, at least do one lesson. Okay. And then tutorials, gazillions of them. All right. Here's a whole lot. If you just Google Tinkercad tutorial, there are a whole lot of videos and tutorials and things that can happen. Okay. All right. So now if you really think that's still not enough, I don't know. This one is a beginner's tutorial in 9 minutes. Okay. I would take a group of learners and just say, let's try it. Okay. Let's just try it. And that's the challenge. We can have tutorials and more tutorials and more tutorials, but I think it's more important that everybody comes to another session maybe and comes and shows us what they've accomplished, which will be cool. All right. So I'm going to just, before I go on, I really need to just really encourage you to do Tinkercad. Install it. It's free. There are 3D print. So you've got the 3D printing stuff. You can go and do 3D printing. You can even just make the design and then maybe take it. I don't know whether you've got a printing works that can do 3D printing. I don't know whether PostNet can do 3D printing. That'll be amazing. But kind of build on the experiences. It's all here. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to park this for now. All right. So the next software that we've got is PhET simulations. And when I unmute now, when I stop talking, I'm going to ask anybody who's used PhET. Apparently, you can use for physics, chemistry, biology, life sciences, all the STEM topics. And the really cool thing is it's a Creative Commons license, so it's free. All right. It's already 20 years old. All right. It was created in 2002. And I'm getting the impression that they are keeping up with the times. All right. So it's an ongoing thing. And of course, so there you go to their site, you download it, you can install it. There is a gazillion tips and videos and telling them what they do. And here are some teacher tips. And if you go further, there are some research papers that you can download. Maybe PhET just is that little thing that triggers a learning in one of your learners. All right. I'm thinking we're trending towards the physics and the electronics. Okay. But there are these other simulations of physics stuff. So there's the circuit construction, which we know. But there's also density, and there's that eternal skateboard, where you go up and down, ding, 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 and how much energy does it have and how fast will it go? But there you can do all the experiments. It's right there. Okay. Yeah, and the cool thing is if you make these circuits and you have too much power, you can't really blow anything up. I'm just wondering about chemistry. Maybe we can blow up something in chemistry. But even so, it's all virtual. It's all simulation. So nothing will happen. And I think that is maybe the first step to creating confidence in learners, to say, really try it and learn from the experience, because nothing is going to happen. All right. So that is my brief overview. I really would love to hear your experiences of these two packages, and we need to keep moving. We need to keep adding to our list. Are there opportunities? Are there more opportunities? And I'd love to hear from you. Are there any ideas as well of how we can use these two packages, both the FET and also the Tinkercad, for your lessons? But I think also maybe just to kind of encourage learners to maybe think out the box, and maybe to have a 3D printing club at your school, or you don't have to have a club like a long time existing club. Maybe just have a 3D, I don't know, 2-week session or boot camp. What do they call them? Boot camps, where you kind of get involved. And now I think it's probably now a time for autumn camps and winter camps and things like that. But let's hear your ideas. I'm going to stop sharing and stop talking, and please raise your hands and talk to us, and let us hear from you. Thank you very much. Awesome. Okay. Anybody's got anything to add? Have you had an experience of any of these softwares? Are there ones that we should, experiments that we should do? Kabela, I'm going to ask you to just monitor the chat, and I will watch when the hands go up. All right.
Okay, noted.
Thank you. All right. Has anybody used any of these packages before in their classroom, in their teaching? Has anybody heard of these packages before? Okay, Casper, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I used FET simulations when I was in high school. I wasn't a very good student in physics, especially. So my one uncle, he told me, listen, you need to use this one, it will help you a lot. So I can maybe show, especially with FET simulations.
Okay.
For example, this one is if you move the foot around and then
that's cool.
So that one is to explain how voltages, if you use your socks, and then how it builds up static electricity,
awesome.
If not mistaken.
Awesome. And now you've got a visualization of it, and you show your learners, and I think they've got it.
Yeah, the one thing is I did download the new version of FET simulations.
Okay.
So you can either use it in two types of sessions, platforms. Okay. It's HTML5 or Java.
Okay.
So the HTML5 is normal. We can all use it. Java is a little bit more. You need to have Java installed on your PC.
Okay, so if anybody has any questions about FET, we can have another session about FET.
Yeah, so
there's the spectrum, the color spectrum. Huh.
Color vision and everything. Even this one to build molecules is a small game that you play. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. Excellent.
And it's definitely more exciting than a textbook.
I can't say, I won't comment on that one, trust me.
All right. Let's just look at the opportunities available there. Awesome. Thanks, Casper. All right. Is there anybody that's used FET simulations in their teaching and learning? Anybody? Nobody. So nobody's used it. Nobody's heard of it ever before. I wonder why it's not encouraged in the classroom, because it really is a much more exciting alternative to a textbook, I would say.
I think maybe because of the two, so it mostly is on the PC for free, but on the iPads, it's not free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't want to go iPads.
Yeah, on the iPads and tablets, I think it's about I think $1 for each one, or one account. I think I can't remember. I remember it's $1, but I think that's for all of the devices on that one account.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said,
well, I'm connected and I haven't paid a cent.
Yeah, but it's on, like I said, on the PC version.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's hear from. Are there any educators? Anybody who would like to comment? Alexander, I'm sorry, I'm picking on you. Have you heard of all these packages?
No, Dr. Gous. I've been playing around with Blender, but Blender's more for 3D drawing and so on. It's also free, but it's nothing like the Tinkercad or anything like that.
Okay, so you're going to get some students to see whether they can explore Tinkercad and whether they can explore.
Yes, for sure. I think the FIT one is one that I didn't know about. I think with the science course that we have, that's going to be something that we can use here.
Glad to hear. All right, so we are going to probably rerun these sessions, maybe in a couple of months' time, and then we'd love to hear. Let's hear what you've done and what has been used, what's successful and what's not great or successful. Okay, excellent. All right. Anybody else who's used these in their classroom? Michelle?
Hi, Dr. Gous.
Hi.
It's the first time I'm hearing of these, so
Okay.
I'm going to give it a try.
Okay. Good. Good. And it's all, and the really cool thing, it's available, so it's for everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to add anything to the conversation? Yeah, it would be good if everybody can come to a session and show what they've done on Tinkercad or what they've done on FET and kind of said what fun they've had, like what Casper is. See, and now you already know if you put your sock on the mat, then the electrons go up your arm into your body, and then you shock yourself. Yeah, shocking. All right. And I think also just reading a textbook is kind of not. It needs to be visual, and learners need to be able to see it, to identify it, to have a mental memory of it or a mental model of it. A lot of learning these days is done with mental models where they can remember things. All right. Okay, I see Anzani is in the group with us. Anzani, do you want to post your form? Anzani? I think we've lost Anzani.
She's posted something in the chat.
Oh, has she? Okay, thanks. Let me just quickly go to the chat. I wasn't looking at the chat at all. Let me just go to the chat. Okay, Anzani, do you want to explain your enhanced analytics document?
All right, no, thanks, Patricia.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm busy eating. Yeah, sorry. So, hi guys. I hope you guys are still doing fine. And like I've explained for those who were here yesterday on both sessions, again, I will explain to you every single session. Don't get bored of my voice, but so the reason we are doing this is for stats purposes. So this information is going to help us with our stats on how many people are joining our sessions. So it's just a few questions. Basically, were you joining the session alone or with people? And if you are joining with people, how many people have joined? So I think that will help us because we've realized that others would join with one account, but there's a group of 6 people sitting together. So at least that's going to help us in terms of calculating how many people have joined. So yeah, thank you so much. I think today I've said it better than yesterday.
You're
So,
getting
yeah,
good. You're getting good. Awesome. Yes. It's kind of where we got the numbers. You know, numbers are just numbers, and so if we get a kind of a bit of a context and a rich context from the discussions, we'd really appreciate it. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing we've got just people just joining us now. So the discussion, we've kind of gone through the discussion of Tinkercad and FET software. We really encourage you to go look through the video or the recording of it, which will be on the M1 MOOC portal this weekend. Go and look, and we're encouraging everybody to try and test it out and see what works in their classroom. And you don't need to do it on your own. You can get a whole bunch of learners to help you explore the software that there is available. Whether you do 3D printing and then you take your design and you go down to the local 3D printer, or maybe a business will loan you a 3D printer, which is really cool. And then, of course, if you're blessed to have a 3D printer in your laboratory, that's great. But yeah, think of something different, just to make it learning more interesting. And then, so that's the 3D printing. and then just to play with your circuits, building circuits virtually. There are classes, there are tutorials, there are explanations. Yeah, it really is. It's all available, and I think that's what we wanted to encourage. We encourage you as well. So also a new feature on our sessions is we're going to bring you some news, and Nadine is our news. What's it? Anchor news. Nadine in the news. So Nadine posted an article from Twitter yesterday, and she said she'll put the link up as well if you want to go and have a look at that link and just go and see what's news. And you're more than welcome if you find some robotics or programming news that you want to share, send ISET an email and attention Nadine, and Nadine will put it then on the news at the end of every session when we have a moment. Awesome. All right. So Nadine will post up the Twitter, and I'm asking, are there any more questions, any more comments? Are we all good? Very quiet class today. Very quiet. Okay. Okay, so now our learners have got no excuse if they don't have textbooks. They've at least got access to simulations, and we can do some of the experiments. All right, we'll just give Nadine a few moments just to put her link up on the chat, and then, right, no more comments. I was going to, let me see whether I can. All right, I'm going to, whilst you're waiting for Nadine, I'll share my screen with you as well. There we go. So these are all the simulations that are available in FET. And if you go look through it, I've only chosen the motion sound wave. So if you've got a very specific class and you want to do motion, you take out all the other things, then those are the things that you can do. Oh dear. All right. Okay, we're having a couple of technical problems. Nadine will add her thing maybe to the next session, and we'll see whether we can add that. Thanks, Nadine. All right. Okay, so these are all. If you're teaching motion, you have got ding 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 ding. You've got all these extra resources. All right. And so if you just want to do electricity and magnets, which normally is just like, oh, it's just a theoretical. Now students can get involved in the applications and build circuits and things. All right. And there's explanations for everything. There are explanations for everything. All right. So let me stop sharing. All right. I think I have shared enough. I have definitely spoken enough. And so the next session we're going to have on simulations, we're hoping that you will arrive with your examples and kind of share what you've done with us. Okay, I'm just going to ask Ansani, can you share the link that Nadine has on the WhatsApp group? Ansani, is it possible? Oh, there we go. Oh, you're busy. All right. So really, there's our news for the day from Nadine. Please have a look at it, interact with it. It's really cool. It's the Neuralink, and it's phenomenal. Nadine, do you want to just explain? It's like really amazing. Is our system not allowing you to unmute either? Hi. All right.
I'm here. I just thought I'd share my screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Yes.
So this is the first application, Hello World application of what's called Neuro EP, which is a brain microchip. that allowed this man with AIS to send a tweet using only his thought.
So you can read my mind now.
So the tweet was sent to the company, another CEO's company's Twitter account, and it's had over 3,300 retweets since December.
That is actually phenomenal. Sure. I think we're beyond the fourth industrial revolution, Nadine.
Definitely.
Sure. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Life is not going to, well, life after COVID is not going to be normal, but we're definitely in a place where it's going to change.
Yes, this is IoT. This is the Internet of Things. So with IoT, we expect almost everything, your appliances in your house, to be connected to the internet as well.
So can I tell my kettle mentally to boil me? Oh, that's amazing.
Once you have a device, if you are willing to sign up for that, so
All right.
you would have to sit through surgery and connect to the internet.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, Nadine's going to keep us updated on the news as we go along. So thank you, Nadine, for that. Mind blowing. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, whatever tomorrow brings. And I suppose that is why we are sharing the news is us as educators really need to equip our learners for the future they're going to live in and not necessarily us. All right. Thank you very much for that. That was a very high note, an inspired note to end on. I'm going to ask Kabela, would you like to close the session?
Thank you, everyone, for attending the session. And on my area, we have got just a. There goes my network. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's session. And we hope that everybody does catch up and they do understand. And if you don't understand, you're more than welcome to ask us questions as we go forward. And this is just the first week of the 2022. So there's still a long journey to go through for those who are first time. And I thank you. And we're just starting with thunderstorm on our side. So my network is now misbehaving. Okay, thanks.
Oh dear,
Thank
oh
you.
dear. Just stay safe, Kabela. All right. Awesome. So Kabela is I'm going to just allocate. We're going to make Kabela the FET the champion, and we're going to make Casper the Tinkercad champion, or something like that. Or maybe we should swap them around. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you at 4 o'clock for the next session. Thank you, team. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.